GTA 6 may be in trouble again. It's been a while since we've talked about it, and we've been waiting. We've been fingers crossed hoping that we are actually going to get it this year. Well, Jason Schreier may have accidentally really just torpedoed all those hopes. Then again, he did reply saying that a lot of what he said was taken completely out of context, but I do want to go over what he talked about. We got new insider information on GTA 6, and once again, coming from none other than Jason Schreier. If you've been anxiously awaiting GTA 6, like everyone in the world, you're going to want to hear this. Basically, Jason shared a few key details about Rockstar is with the game, and it might not be as far along as we hoped. I mean, this matters right now because Rockstar has been targeting a release for the end of this year. But if Jason's information is on point and you take it the way a lot of people took it, that date might not be set in stone. I want to break down exactly what Jason said, what it means for the GTA 6 timeline, and why we should care. I also want to keep it real with you guys. We're not trying to speculate here. We're just going to go off what he said. We're going to have an honest chat about this monster of a game. So context, it's super important here. Why is this happening? How did we get here? Let's back up for 2 seconds, set the stage. GTA 5 came out in 2013, over a decade ago, and ever since, fans have been starving for the next installment. Well, Rockstar finally confirmed they're working on GTA 6 in early 2022, and we even had a massive leak of early footage later that year, which Jason Schreier himself verified as real. That leak showed off an early build from around 2019, confirming the game was in deep development. It was the biggest leak in gaming history at that time, and Rockstar had to acknowledge it. It was pretty wild. So we fast forward to now, it's 2026, and Rockstar's parent company Take-Two has been hinting in investor calls that GTA 6 is on track for release in fall of 2026. In fact, November 19th, 2026 has been floated as the target date internally. They've even dropped 2 teaser trailers, basically broke the internet both times, and everyone's been assuming we're less than a year away from playing GTA 6 at the time. However, Rockstar's had a history of delays with their big games. Remember how Red Dead Redemption 2 got pushed back a couple times, big times. And Rockstar is also known for when it's ready. That's their approach. They don't release anything below their standards, which I truly respect. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. I read every single comment on every single video. The big question is, do you think GTA 6 gets delayed again? Wait till after you watch this video before you chime in. There's another wrinkle. A few years ago, Rockstar went through a bit of a culture shift. Jason Schreier's reporting exposed Rockstar's brutal crunch during RDR2 development. And since then, the management has tried to improve working conditions. That means avoiding those 100-hour weeks that make games come out on time at the cost of developer sanity. So if you were wondering why GTA 6 keeps getting pushed, that's a big part of it. Rockstar doesn't want to brutalize their team to meet an arbitrary date. They'd rather delay over and over than repeat a cyberpunk-style fiasco or burn out their talent, which I can appreciate as well. All that leads us to right now, where Jason Schreier, a journalist with one of the best track records on Rockstar News, just shared fresh information about GTA 6's development status. It's basically explaining why Rockstar hasn't 100% nailed down the release date. So we're going to get into it. It does shed a lot of light. Here's the core of it. The facts Jason Schreier shared without any BS. This came from a podcast interview Jason did called the Button Smash Podcast. It was later summarized on social media and gaming news sites. Essentially, Jason said the last he's heard from his sources is that GTA 6 is not yet content complete. In plain English, this means Rockstar is still working on the game's content. They're still building missions, designing levels, adding in features, even right now. They haven't locked down what's in the final game and what might be cut. So the game is not fully finished content-wise, despite being perhaps less than a year from the supposed release. That's a big deal, because usually a game entering its final year before launch will have all its content done and be in polishing, bug-fixing mode. GTA 6, not quite there yet, according to Jason. Now, because of that, Jason believes it's really hard to say for sure that GTA 6 will release in November of 2026 as planned. In fact, he specifically said he doesn't think anyone at Rockstar could tell you with 100% certainty that they'll hit the November 19th, 2026 release date. Now, that's not to say a delay is guaranteed, but it does mean even internally there could be some doubt. Basically, Rockstar is aiming for late 2026, but they know it might slip if things don't come together in time. And I think where Jason rebutted today, where he said, you took me out of context, was a lot of outlets and news sources were saying, oh, he said it's going to be delayed. He specifically said they're not going to be able to ship then, or he implied it to a point where it's truth. That's not the case. He said he doesn't think anyone at Rockstar can tell you with 100% certainty that they'll make it. Now, interestingly, Jason did add that Rockstar employees consider this current target the one we're talking about, to be a lot more realistic and solid than previous targets they had internally. You guys remember those earlier rumors? Originally, a lot of us thought GTA 6 might come out in the fall of 2025. Then we heard possibly spring 2026. There was even talk of May 2026 at one point. According to Jason, the people at Rockstar never really believed the fall 2025 window was doable. It was too much work, not enough time, especially if they wanted to avoid that insane crunch. So that date quietly went out the window a long time ago. And the next target was mid-2026, likely May. That doesn't pan out either. Now they're looking at November 26, and comparatively, it feels achievable to the team according to Jason, but it's not a sure thing. The takeaway here from me is Rockstar has already internally delayed the game multiple times, which we suspected, and this November 2026 goal is basically their third swing at a release window. And for what I'm getting, they're more confident in it, but they're not going to carve it in stone yet, which they never do. Jason then talked about why there's hesitancy and when it comes down to Rockstar's pursuit of perfection. He said Rockstar will not settle for anything less than absolute perfection with GTA 6. The stakes are too high. I want you to think about this. GTA 5 is the most profitable piece of entertainment ever. GTA Online prints money. Rockstar's reputation, it's good. It's really good. They can't afford to mess it up. In Jason's words, there's a lot at stake, not only for fan expectations, but apparently Take-Two's entire stock price and future strategy rest on GTA 6's success. I mean, Take-Two, the publisher, is basically bet the farm on this game. Their financial forecast for the next year or two assume this game is going to break every record in the world. So naturally, Rockstar management is under immense pressure to deliver a flawless product. That is why, as Jason notes, if they need a little more time to get it right, they're going to take the time. He even pointed out they have a bit of a buffer. If GTA 6 slips out of 2026, they could still release it by March 2027 and count it in the same fiscal year for Take-Two. In other words, from a business perspective, as long as this game is out by March 31st, 2027, Take-Two's money people, they'll be okay. Of course, they'd prefer November to hit the holiday season, but there is wiggle room if polishing the game requires an extra few months, which I'm here to tell you, if they feel it does, they're going to take it. There's one more pretty fascinating tidbit here that Jason shared. PlayStation 5 is considered the primary platform for GTA 6. He mentioned that the company, Rockstar Take-Two, sees PS5 as the main platform and that Sony is basically organizing its whole release lineup around GTA 6. To me, that's pretty wild. It shows how huge the game's launch will be. Sony knows GTA 6 is going to move consoles and dominate player attention, so they're planning their other big game releases to not clash with it. It's likely that it also means Sony has some marketing deal or at least a close partnership, which we might see PlayStation branded promotions or timed content. None of that's confirmed, but that's my guess. That's how it usually goes. The bottom line is GTA 6 is such a big deal that even a company as big as Sony is effectively saying, this is GTA's world. We're all just living in it. At least when it comes to late 2026. The detail also indirectly confirms the target timeframe. Sony wouldn't be shifting their 2026 plans around GTA 6 if they also didn't expect it around that holiday season. My big question is, how come PlayStation? Why not Xbox? Was there a bidding war? Did Rockstar just make their decision? They're PlayStation fans over Xbox? I'm curious. I would love to know what went on in those conversations. So, to recap those verified updates that Jason gave us in a controversial nutshell, Rockstar is finishing GTA 6's content, still adding missions, all that stuff, which means the supposed November 2026 release is not guaranteed. Internally, they're hopeful, but not certain. They've delayed internally before, and we know that. Rockstar wants GTA 6 to be perfect and knows it has to deliver because the company's future is literally riding on it. So they'd rather push the date again than ship a broken or undercooked game. And even giants like PlayStation are positioning themselves around GTA 6's launch because it's going to be an event of the decade. It really is. Now, even with the new leaks, there's a lot we don't know. It's important to be upfront about that. Jason's info gives us a peek behind the curtain, but it's not the whole picture. For one, we don't know how much content is left to finish or how far along the game truly is. Not content complete can mean 1,000 things. It could mean they're 90% done and polishing up the last few missions, or it could mean there's a whole chunk still in flux. Rockstar is very secretive, so we're guessing. No one outside Jason and Jason's sources really knows whether the game will actually wrap up content production in the next few weeks, next few months, or if it might take even longer. That uncertainty is exactly why the release date is hard to pin down. We also don't know Rockstar's exact internal timeline. Typically, once a game is content complete, there's a lengthy period of playtesting, bug fixing, optimization, especially for a game as huge and complex as GTA. So if the content isn't done yet in early 2026, I think they can realistically polish, well, I don't know if they can really realistically polish the whole game and have disc ready, go gold by November. Maybe not. I don't know. Depends on how efficiently they can squash bugs and refine things. That's a huge question mark. If you have one major setback happening during the polish stage, that delay is probably happening. Another thing up in the air is, will GTA 6's release come with everything at once, or could Rockstar stagger content? For example, we don't know if the single-player story and the next iteration of GTA Online will launch together. With GTA 5, the story mode dropped first and then online launched 2 weeks later. With RDR2, the online beta came out a month after launch. So given the whole still adding content comment, I wonder if perhaps some content like the online mode or maybe certain side activities could actually end up being held back for post-launch updates if time goes right. Speculation, but it's unanswered, so I'm putting it out there. Rockstar hasn't said a peep about GTA 6 online. So crucially, we probably should acknowledge that Rockstar hasn't officially announced a concrete release date. It's just what we talk about. The November 19th, 2026 only comes from leaks and insider info from Take-Two's financial targets and people like Schreier. So until Rockstar themselves lock in a date publicly, there's ambiguity here. They could very well be purposely not committing because they want flexibility. We don't know what they feel confident in saying, and they haven't technically said anything. We also don't know when the next official update or trailer's coming. Since we're in the dark on a lot of the details, I think it's natural for rumors to fly, and they are. One recent rumor floating around was that GTA 6 might slip to 2027. Some people on X were in a panic about it. Jason's comments were interpreted by some as confirmation of another delay, which is not what he said. He actually had to clarify that, which brings me to misinformation. Jason clarified he wasn't outright predicting a delay. He was saying, hey, nothing is 100% certain yet. In fact, he mentioned he wouldn't be shocked if GTA 6 does manage to come out fall 2026, noting that Rockstar often follows a pattern of announcing a date, delaying a couple times, and then finally hitting the last revised date. That's how RDR2's schedule played out. He even added, of course, another delay is possible. It's a video game, meaning anything can happen in game development. So for anyone out there claiming Jason Schreier says GTA 6 is delayed again, that's not the full story. What he actually conveyed was way more nuanced. The honest truth is we don't know for sure if there will be another delay. We know it's a possibility, and his information helps give us some possibilities that do exist. Now, finally, we don't know much about the game content itself from this leak. Jason didn't spill any story details, no new future features, and to be fair, I don't even think I want those spoiled. I think most of us are happy to wait for Rockstar's marketing to show the fun stuff. His update was about the production progress. So questions like, how big is the map? What's the gameplay like? Who are the characters? All that stuff. We didn't get any of that, which I'm fine with. We have a good idea of what's going on, to the point of I want to know from Rockstar on that stuff. So now we've covered what we know. Let's talk about where this could go. I want to be very clear. This part is just my own speculation and thoughts. This is not confirmed fact. Given everything we've heard, here's what I think is going to happen. If Rockstar is still creating content right now, my gut feeling is they're probably going to wrap up production in the next few months. I suspect by mid-2026, they'll hit the content complete milestone, basically locking down the game's missions, the world, the features, and then they spend the remaining time purely polishing and bug fixing. Rockstar games are enormous, but Rockstar also has enormous resources. They could throw a lot of manpower at QA here. They could. If things go according to plan, big if, I think they can make the November release date. It reminds me of Red Dead Redemption 2's trajectory. The game was officially delayed multiple times, but ultimately, it released in October of 2008, roughly when the last revised target was. I think GTA 6 could definitely follow suit, but I wouldn't be shocked at all if a small slip happens here. Perhaps Rockstar might decide to push it to, say, February or March of next year to give breathing room still within that fiscal year cushion. For example, by next summer, they realize we need more time or this summer, they realize we need more time to truly perfect it. They could announce a short delay. And honestly, as a fan, I'm okay. I think most of us would prefer the amazing game that they are shooting for than them to put it out when it's not ready. There's one more angle here, right? What context might be causing the holdup? If they're finalizing missions and deciding what makes the cut, it could mean the game is huge and they are grappling with the scope. Maybe they have way more they can include, but they can't realistically polish. I wouldn't be shocked at all if some of the planned features or side content get earmarked for DLC or a later update just so they can lock the game down. Rockstar did something a bit like this with GTA 5. Some single-player DLC ideas ended up being repurposed into GTA Online updates, for example. That happened. So that could happen here. Now, on the story side, we know we got the leaks trailer, we got the two protagonists, Bonnie Clyde type duo. I'm good with what we know. I don't really care to know any more leaks on that. And for the gameplay perspective, man, I just want to go have fun with it and experience everything. I don't have to know if what's going to be interactive or what's not. So yeah, there you go. If we step back and we look at the big picture, his information basically tells us to keep our expectations in check. Yes, Rockstar is aiming for late this year. They're more confident in this than they were before, but that doesn't mean anything in the world of video game development. So you guys let me know what you think. I'll keep you posted if anything else breaks, and I'll see you soon.